Craziest things that happened at school. This one high school had a problem with cheating. Tons of kids were cheating on every single test that was taken. So, in an effort to stop cheating, this is what the school did. They would have somebody come in from the school administration every day that there was a test. Before the test would begin, he would walk around the classroom and collect every single person's phone. And after the test, the phones would be given back. For the first few months, things were going great. Nobody was cheating, the method was working. Well, one day, every single class was having a test. So the man comes in and collects everybody's phones. Thank you, I'll take that. I will take that, thank you so much. I will take this, thank you very much. After all the tests were done, the classes were waiting for the man to give their phones back. But he was nowhere to be seen. Turns out, the person that did this heard about what the school was doing. So he randomly went in, took everyone's phone, and left. That day, he stole almost every single student in the school's cell phone. He was never caught. Delivery driver's worst experiences. One night, this dude was delivering KFC to a house. He gets there and he knocks on the door. A middle school aged kid then opens the door. He then yells upstairs to his friends. Hey guys, the chicken idiot is here! The chicken idiot is here! That's when about 8 other kids appear at the top of the stairs, and they started throwing coins down to pay for the chicken. Chicken idiot. Can you guys just hand me the money, please? After he asked that, they started throwing the coins harder. Chicken man, stupid chicken man. That's when he snapped. These kids made him so angry that he picked up their bag of chicken and chucked it at their wall. Hey, what the heck? And he left. He told his boss what happened when he got back to the KFC. Those kids' parents later called to complain, but the boss had this guy's back. He simply told those kids' parents to screw off. Epic. Delivery driver's strange experiences. When this guy was in college, he worked at a grilled cheese sandwich shop as a delivery driver. And one day, he was taking a delivery to a fortune teller's place on the other side of town. Ah, yes, come on in. He steps into her place and she's rummaging around looking for cash to pay him. He starts asking her questions. So, what's it like being a fortune teller? Oh, honey, it's my calling. I come from a long line of fortune tellers. My mom, my grandma, my great-grandma. Oh, so it's like a family business. And do you get a lot of customers? Oh, I do pretty well for myself, sweetie. I do pretty well. I'm the best in town. Ah, here. Ah, thank you. Have a great day. You too, Kyle. Have an amazing day. His name was actually Kyle. When he got to his car, he just sat there, confused, mind blown. How did she know his name? But then he looked down and realized he was wearing his name tag that said Kyle.
Dad, I got a B on my test. Oh, you did? Why do you sound so excited? Because I got a B, that's good. Have a seat, son. This is how things are gonna go in this house. If you get an A, that's average. A B, which you got today, is below average. You following? If you get a C, you can't have dinner. If you get a D, don't you dare bother coming home. And if you get an F, you find a new family. Understand? Yeah. So how do you feel about that B now? Terrible. I'll do better next time, sir. Dang Skippy. Go do your homework. Honey, when's the pasta ready?
That was hilarious, right? My mom told me that joke last night. I was cracking up. Anyway, man, can I use your bathroom? Oh, for sure, man. It's the first door on the right. Hurry up in there, man. Now I gotta go.
All right, class, open your books up to page 76, okay? Your mom. Dude, your mom died over the summer. Oh. Leave my mother out of this, Kyle, okay? I don't make fun of your parents for creating a dumbass. Open your books.
Yeah, screw you, Kyle. You're such an idiot. You smell like my dad.
Genius ways people cheated on a test. This dude said that when he was in high school, one of his buddies stole the final exam out of the teacher's desk when she wasn't looking. That day, they took the test home and used the textbook to fill all of the answers in. Since the test was multiple choice, this kid decided to make coded keychains with colored beads on it. The test was 50 questions long, so the keychain had 50 beads on it. A red bead was A, a blue bead was B, yellow was C, and green was D. It would start with the first bead on the top as question 1 and go down from there. He then attached that keychain to his car keys and just left his keys on top of his desk as he took the test. The best part was the teacher complimented that keychain as she was passing the test out. He said, "Thanks, my little sister made it." She thought that was so sweet. But the truth is that kid did not have a little sister. Genius. Weirdest compliments people received. This woman was stopped on the street by a stranger. "Hey, excuse me. Yeah? I just wanted to say that I love your cheekbones. You look like an elf." Thank you. This person also got a weird compliment. "Hey bro, this is Jack." "Hey, what's up, man?" "Jack, nice to meet you. I'm Carl." "Oh man, what? Let me see that." "You have an awesome left ear." Thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say." This girl was on a date. "Hi, Steven, right?" "Stacy, you look different than in your pictures." Well, I hope that's a good thing." "Oh, no, it's good. You look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. But in a cute way. Like a cute Gollum." And last but not least, have you ever been complimented by your dentist? Well, this dude has. "Buddy, your oral cavity is amazing to work with. There's so much space in here." "Oh, thank you." Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another peanut butter and jelly story. So this one high school had a cafe, and the cafe sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $4 each. $4 for a PB&J. That's insane. Well, one student had a great idea, and it's kind of similar to a previous story I told. She bought bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and left it in her locker. And all people had to do was shoot her a text if they wanted a PB&J. They would go to her locker and she would make them one. For only $2 each. Well, the students loved this. It was super convenient and business was absolutely booming. Well, the school shut her down pretty quick. They said that she was taking away business from somebody that needed the money more. What? Genius ways kids cheated on a test. This teacher shared this story. On this particular day, they were taking a test in one of this teacher's classes. A kid comes in. He sits by the window. The kid then asks the teacher if he could open the window because it's kind of warm in the room. The teacher says sure. The kid opens the window. She passes out the test. That kid scribbles something down for about 30 minutes and then asks to use the bathroom. The kid then came back, finished the test, and turned it in. So what happened here? Where's the twist? When the kid opened the window, he also opened the screen. After he got his test, he secretly dropped it out of the window. The test fell to the ground where his friend was waiting. His friend was incredibly smart. His friend took the test to the bathroom and filled it out himself. Now the kid, back in the room, had to make it look like he was working on his test. So he was scribbling nonsense on a piece of notebook paper. When he asked to go to the bathroom, he met up with his friend. His friend gave him the test. He came back to class and he turned it in. He got an A on that test. The teacher would have had no idea that this happened if it hadn't been for another student who snitched. But I gotta say, that's absolutely genius. Markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this girl was in middle school, she once brought a few glow sticks to a school dance. The kids that saw them kept asking her if she had any more. So she had an idea. She went to the store and bought 12 packs of 24 glow sticks for $1 each. And then at the next dance, she stood by the entrance and sold them to the kids coming in. That night, she sold out and made $288. Well, the teachers didn't really like what she was doing, so they made her an offer. They said she could set up a table and sell the glow sticks right next to the snack table. Otherwise, she can't sell them anymore. All she would have to do was give the school a tiny bit of the profits. She said yes, and after that, she still made about $300 a dance. Hey bro, so I think I'm gonna ask Stacy to the dance. Bro, good for you, dude. You deserve it. But you might want to act quick because, look, no, they call me Mr. Suave. No, I'm kidding. But I am suave, though. I'm super suave. Let's just say I lift about, 110 on a good day. You know what? I'm going up there. Hey, Stacy. Oh, hey, Kyle. What are you doing? What are you doing here, loser? Stacy, quick question. Are you inflatable? No. Why? Oh, did you hear that, Chad? She's not your type. I only bought one of those dolls, and it was a joke. Yeah, right. You're just saying that in front of Stacy because you hate me. Oh, no. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is, if you were dying, I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. Stacy, you, me, dance Friday? What do you say? I will see you there. Bye, Stacy. This guy wants to know if he did anything wrong. So where he works, there's this rule that you cannot have any electronics at all on you. No phones, no smartwatches, no pagers, nothing. Well, at this time, he had been working there for about 6 months, and his wife was fully aware of this rule. She knew not to contact him during the workday. Every morning when he gets to work, he drops his phone off in his locker, and he typically has it on Do Not Disturb. Well, on this particular day, there was a huge fire on the secondary work site. This guy would occasionally work on that work site, but on this day, he was in the main office. Well, his wife didn't know that. The fire was blazing. It made it on the news. Now, his wife watching the news was obviously freaking out because the fire was blazing while people were still inside the building. There were casualties, and people seriously injured. She calls her husband, 20 times to be exact. Well, somehow his Do Not Disturb got taken off, or he never turned it on in the first place because his phone was ringing very loudly in his locker. His boss called him into the office and chewed him out. He was written up because his phone was going off. He saw those 20 missed calls from his wife, and he was super mad. And now getting written up is hurting his chances of a raise and a promotion. He called her back, and she was sobbing, asking if he was okay. He said, "Of course I am. Why the heck would you call me 20 times? When he got home, she was super upset with him. He kind of realized what he did and tried to apologize, but she wouldn't take it. For days after that, she slept in another room and barely talked to him. But even so, he still thinks he had a very good reason to be angry and yell at her. What do you think? She was worried about his safety. Did this guy do anything wrong? So the guy that shared the story said that he was on a business trip. The trip was over and he was at the airport to take a flight home to his fiancée. As he was waiting to board the plane, a Delta employee called him up to the stand. "Hi, Carl." "Yeah, what's up?" "So we overbooked this plane by a lot. Delta is offering you $2,000 if you skip this flight." "Really? Let me just check with my fiancé. Hold on one second." "Take your time." He looked out the window and he noticed the clouds getting pretty dark. He thought to himself, maybe the flight would get canceled anyway. I should take this money for sure. He called his fiancée, she didn't answer. He texted her, she didn't answer. So he made the decision on his own. He took that $2,000 and he booked another flight for the next day. Well, his fiancée was livid. She said she couldn't believe he would choose money over her. He tried to explain to her that the flight was going to get canceled anyway, and she should be excited and happy that they have an extra $2,000 now, but she didn't care. She remained mad for a while. Did he do the wrong thing, or was his fiancée being crazy? Let me know. This woman had been dating this guy for a few months, and the first time she stayed over at his house, she wanted to take a shower in the morning, but she noticed there wasn't any towels in the bathroom.
Steven?
Yeah, what's up?
There's no towels in here. Can I have a towel, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. 1 second. Here.
Thanks.
She noticed that the towel he gave her was obviously super dirty, and it smelled horribly.
Steven!
Yeah, what's up?
Can I have a clean towel, please? This one's dirty.
What do you mean? No, that's clean.
It's definitely dirty. It's fine, though. Just get me a new towel.
Okay, fine. Here.
Thank you. Dude, this one's dirty, too. Did you wash these?
What are you talking about? You don't need to wash towels. Every time you shower, they clean themselves because they're getting wet. It's like the same thing as a washing machine.
So you never wash your towels?
Never. My mom did the same thing.
What? That is nasty. That is nasty. This is not gonna work. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go shower at my own place.
Okay. Have a good day. Smells fine. My favorite comebacks. Hey, Carla, what do you want, Stacy? I saw you getting your nails done last night at the mall with your mom. That's so embarrassing, Carla. At least I have a mom. You take that back right now. How dare you say that to me? Oh, shut up, Stacy. You're so ugly your face makes onions cry. That's the worst joke I ever heard. It's not a joke. Look what you did to Greg's onion. It's okay, buddy. She'll go away soon. I'm so sorry. She's so ugly. Ways parents punish their kids. This guy said that when he was a kid, his mom had this crazy punishment for whenever he talked back to them or used inappropriate language. Hey, I said no Minecraft till you're done with your homework. Homework is dumb, Mom. This is bull. Whenever something like that happened, she would force him to smell the dog's breath. Get your dog? Mom, no. I said get your dog. Rufus, come here, buddy. Come here, Rufus. I'm just gonna hold your mouth open for a second, okay? Smell it. Smell it. What did you eat today, man? Genius ways people cheated on tests. In middle school, this dude and his best friend had every single class together. Well, he had a hard time in school, but his best friend was super smart. Well, they came up with a brilliant idea. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I keep failing the tests. I try to study, but it's just so hard. That sucks, dude. I'm getting straight A's. Shut up, dude. I know. Hey, can you tutor me? I don't got time for that, bro, but I have an even better idea. Just Students were actually allowed to eat during class, especially tests, and most of the tests at the school were multiple choice. A, B, C, or D. Whenever there was a test, his smart friend would bring a bag of M&Ms to class. When the test began, the smart kid would eat an M&M for every single question. Like I said, these tests were mostly multiple choice. Well, if he ate a red M&M, it would mean A. If he ate a yellow, it would mean B. Orange, C, and blue, D. So this kid would just sit back and fill in the answers based on what M&M his friend ate. And this plan worked brilliantly. He started passing all the tests. They were a good team, and the only reason they got caught is because some kids snitched on them. They both got detention, and the school changed the eating in class rule. Person saw the craziest thing in a waiting room. This guy took his dad to a doctor's appointment at the hospital. His dad was taken to go get some x-rays. So while he was waiting, he went to the vending machine. That's when he heard some commotion. He turned around to see what was going on, and that's when he saw a moose standing in the waiting room staring at the receptionist.
It's looking at me.
Security was called, and when they got there, they obviously did not know what to do. Everyone just stood around for about 10 to 15 minutes, until the moose decided to walk out of the building on its own. Crazy things teachers said to students. The guy that shared this story said that when he was in 4th grade, his teacher told him something that freaked him out.
You see that, Kyle? That's the sun, right? Is that the sun?
Yes, that's the sun. Well, the crazy thing about the sun is, Kyle, by the time you turn 25, the sun's gonna explode, and it's gonna kill you and kill everyone you know. What? As a 4th grader, he had never thought about death before, but after that conversation, he was having an existential crisis, and his dad saw him crying. What's wrong, man?
My teacher said that when I turn 25, the sun is gonna explode and kill me and everyone that I know. Is that true, Dad?
She told you that? No, don't worry about it, buddy, okay? It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm sorry to be calling you so late, but did you tell my kid that the sun is gonna explode and kill everybody when he turns 25? Yeah? Don't do that. And the next day when that kid went to school, she apologized. He will regret this for the rest of his life. This guy's sister was murdered 3 years ago. 2 weeks before her murder, she left him a voicemail. Call me back when you can, but I'm scared to go home right now, and I've been scared for a while, and I think someone's after me. But I was wondering if I could please come and live with you, please. He lived across the country from his sister. Well, his sister had a history of substance abuse, and he thought she was calling for money again. Well, he didn't really want her around his newborn baby, so he never called her back. Then he heard the news that she was killed. He could have stopped it. If he would have booked her a flight and let her live with him, this would have never happened. He has held this guilt ever since. And his mom says that she will never forgive him. This girl is the worst. The guy that shared the story said it was halfway through his freshman year of high school. He didn't have any friends and he was bullied fairly often. He sat in the back of every single class he was in and he stayed quiet most of the time. That's why he was confused when suddenly this popular girl started talking to him. Steven, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm Kayla. After about a week of flirting with him, she asked for his number. A few days after that, they were walking down the hallway together when she led him to a stairwell that was rarely used. Come with me. Okay. When they got in the stairwell, he just stood there, and then she leaned in for a kiss. But right before they made contact, she spit in his face. Oh, God! That's when a bunch of her friends popped out of nowhere. What a loser! Like I'd ever kiss you. This is hilarious. This person said that when he was 6 years old, he was hanging out with his little 3-year-old brother when he told him something to mess with him. Hey, you see that? Yeah? That's a TV. And you see all those people on the TV? Yeah. Well, you see, those people are actually stuck inside the TV. They got sucked in because they were sitting too close to the screen. What? For a month after that, whenever the TV was turned on, this kid would lose his mind, trying to get as far away as he can from the TV. Come on, kids, let's watch a movie. The parents eventually found out why their youngest son was terrified of the TV, and it took a very long time to get him to not be scared. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a military high school, and Wi-Fi wasn't allowed in the dorms. Now, the only place on campus that had Wi-Fi was the student center. So this dude got a brilliant idea. He bought a Wi-Fi repeater and set it up next to his window. That's when he realized he got just enough signal from the student center to boost it to his entire dorm. And this is how his business started. He charged people $10 $100 a week to keep the password. He even kept an Excel sheet with everyone's device on there, and if they paid or not. Payment was due every Thursday because that was the day they would get their allowance from their parents. And if they didn't pay by Friday, he would blacklist their devices. At one point, he was making $200 a week, and he was never caught. This babysitter is so mad. This person is 20 years old and she's a babysitter. One night, she was babysitting this one family's kids while the parents went out. The mom left money on the counter for them to order pizzas and breadsticks. The pizza and the breadsticks were delivered, they all ate, she had a few slices, and that was that. When the parents came home that night, they asked her how it went. Hi, okay, so how did everything go? I hope they didn't give you too much trouble. Oh, everything went perfect. The kids were well behaved. That pizza place, though, was so good. I'd never gotten food from there before. What? When she said that about the pizza, the mom got puzzled. She then asked, why did you eat the kids' dinner? I only had 2 slices and a breadstick. I think that's okay, right? No, not really okay. I didn't expect to have to feed you as well. Don't eat our family's food, please. Okay, have a good night. What? An awesome way to mess with someone. The guy that shared the story said that when he was 12 years old, he was sitting on a bench at Six Flags by himself, when suddenly an average-looking guy in his 20s comes up to him, looks him dead in the eyes and says, "You are going to remember me for the rest of your life." And he walks away. That kid is now 45 years old, and that random stranger was correct. He's thought about that moment every day since then. That's crazy. When this person was in 6th grade, he went to this small store by his house and bought a bunch of tiny food-shaped erasers, like these. He sold the erasers 2 for $1, and business was frickin' booming. He was making tons of money, and he kept buying more and more erasers, and he kept selling out. By the end of the year, he made over $1,000. What did he use that money for? He spent all that money on food for his family, and gave some of it to his grandma. Respect. Worst Christmas gifts ever. When this girl was 8 years old, it was Christmas morning and she was hanging out with her entire family. Her grandma hands her a gift. "This is to you from me." "I can't wait to open it, Grandma. Thank you so much." She opens it up and sees that it's a Christmas ornament. It's a little cherub with yarn hair and rosy cheeks. Well, this upset her very much. She cried because this was the exact same ornament she got for her grandma the year before, and she had to save her allowance up for weeks in order to get it. But apparently, her grandma didn't care. Crazy things teachers did. This teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, "Anyone want to put a staple in my hand? The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care." Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, "Yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand." That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, "Do it." The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day, the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. An embarrassing middle school moment. When this kid was in 6th grade, he had this huge crush on one of his classmates, but she seemed to never notice him, until one day they were paired up to do a project together. She was sitting across from him, and they were actually having a great conversation. That's so crazy, that's my favorite show as well. I'm actually kind of excited to be working with you on this. Me too. until all of a sudden he had to sneeze. However, as he sneezed, a giant booger shot out of his nose and got stuck on his crush's forehead. Wipe it off right now. Wipe it off. And instead of wiping the booger off, he decided to play it cool and say, no, wipe it off yourself. And he made her clean his booger off of her face. After that, she asked the teacher for a new partner, and she never talked to him ever again. This story is crazy. The guy that shared this story said that he had a coworker, and one day at work, this coworker came in with some exciting news. I have some very exciting news. I got married. Oh, what? Bro, we didn't even know you were seeing anybody, but congrats. They were all confused because this guy was kind of strange, and he wasn't very smart. But he showed them a picture of him and his new bride. Yeah, I got a picture right here. This is us on our wedding day. His coworkers were immediately suspicious. They thought he had made the entire thing up and photoshopped her in that picture. Well, not exactly. Turns out this dude met her online on some Russian bride website, and she immediately wanted to get married, so she moved to the United States and lived with him. But before long, she came up with some crazy story, had him arrested and committed to a psych ward. She cleaned out his bank accounts, sold everything he owned, and then disappeared forever. Eventually, this dude's mother and his boss worked together to get him released from the psych ward. And he came back to work, and they all pitched in money to buy him at least a few pieces of furniture. Awesome ways kids cheated on a test. In high school, this kid was in band. Well, he had a test later in the day that he didn't study for at all. Well, he managed to get a copy of that test from another student who had that same class earlier in the day. So he got a copy of that test. That test was entirely multiple choice. During band class, he Googled all of the answers. And on a piece of empty sheet music, he wrote those answers as notes. A, B, C, and D. When he got to the class where he was having that test, the teacher passed it out and asked everyone to clear off their desks. So he set his sheet music on the ground, facing up. And all he had to do was glance down and look at the notes on the sheet and fill in the answers based on what note it was. That is absolutely genius. Weirdest things kids have ever done. The person that shared this said that last year, as she was picking up her dog's poop in her backyard, she realized that her dog had pooped more, and some of the poops were looking very weird. She didn't think too much of it. Well, every day after that, for about 3 weeks, she kept noticing these weird poops in the yard. She was starting to get concerned. Was her dog sick? Why did some poops look normal and some poops look weird? She then called and made an appointment to take the dog to a vet. Well, a couple of days before the appointment, she was doing dishes in her kitchen. That's when she glanced out the kitchen window and noticed something strange happening in her backyard. It was her daughter, pooping in the yard. Those weird poops did not come from the dog. They came from her own kid. Turns out her daughter had been pooping in their backyard every day for weeks because she was scared of the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna need to cancel my dog's appointment. Yeah, bye-bye. Got beautiful payback on their neighbor. This family started noticing their packages going missing. So they set up a camera by their doorbell. It wasn't long before they realized that the person stealing their packages was their neighbor. So they had a plan. They saved up a few of their baby's dirty, poopy diapers, and they put them in an Amazon box and sealed it. They left it on their doorstep, and that night, like a moth to a flame, their neighbor came to take it. Watch. But when she realized that it was dirty diapers in the package, she came back. We are here with Steve. And Steve is not a big fan of his grandma, especially around the holidays. Can you tell us why that is, Steve? Yeah, well, my grandma's a grade A hole. She would give me the worst Christmas gifts ever. One year, she gave us a VHS tape of the Bible. And this was in 2012, so no one still had a freaking VHS player, you know. I threw that away. Okay, what else? When I was 10, she gave me a guitar for Christmas, and then she made me pay her back for it the week after. Yeah, and I had to pay her back because she's a scary woman. I am so sorry, Steve. Did anything else come to mind? Yeah, one year she gave me a gumball machine with expired candy in it. She kept the key to get the money out. She said that the money I used to put in there is payment for the machine. She would come and collect that money once a month. That is super petty. Craziest one yet was actually last year. She gave me a cooking pan, but there was still eggs in it from the last time she used it. I actually have a picture here. Is she still alive? No. Thank God. This dude accidentally ruined Christmas. The guy that shared this story has a wife and 2 young children. It was a couple days before Christmas, and he was kind of groggy. He was partying with his neighbor the night before. Well, it was garbage day, and he was taking out the trash. He went back inside through the garage, and he noticed that there were 2 more big black garbage bags. So he took those out and threw them in the trash as well. The garbage truck came, and that was that. Well, fast forward to Christmas Eve. His wife had asked him,
Hey, Doug, have you seen the kids' Christmas gifts?
No, where did you put them last?
I had all of their gifts in a big garbage bag in the garage, but they're not there.
That's right. He had accidentally thrown away every single Christmas gift that was meant for his kids. And like I said, it was now Christmas Eve.
You better go out and figure this out.
Okay. Everything was closed, except for 7-Eleven. So what did he do? He bought a bunch of stuff from 7-Eleven. He brought that home, and that's what his kids got for Christmas the next morning. To this day, those kids referred to that one Christmas as the year Santa forgot their gifts, and instead brought them candy and lottery tickets. Market's kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. In 4th grade at his school, they had something called a breakfast break. It was kind of like lunch, but for breakfast. Well, during this break, him and his friends would sell energy drinks, chips, candy, snacks, you name it. And they would sell it out of a cardboard cutout of a store. Well, business was kind of slow. Until one day, the popular kid walked by and bought an energy drink. They thought nothing of it. But apparently, this popular kid had a great customer experience. So he told all of his friends about this breakfast break convenience store that these kids set up. And guess what? Their business absolutely skyrocketed. And then one day during that break, everybody came to get some snacks from their little store. This dude said it became a riot. People were fighting each other, teachers were freaking out because it was like 200 kids in the hallway and that's a fire hazard. Some kids wanted to buy stuff so bad that they threw firecrackers in the crowd to scare some kids away. Well, eventually this business was shut down by one of the teachers. Well, he said that the teacher that shut him down stole all their candy and ate it with her coworkers. But in total, they made $700. Bathroom is right there. Will you come in with me, Dad? Elliot, you're 13 years old. You can go to the bathroom by yourself, okay? Why are you always here? Black Market's kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this dude was in 6th grade, he started selling snacks. Candy, cookies, chips, Takis, everything. He would bring bags of them to school and sell out almost every single day. Eventually, he hired 7th and 8th graders to sell to their grades. He was making $400 a week, but he got money hungry. He had an idea to make some extra cash. So during lunch, he would host Beyblade battles, and people went crazy for it. He charged an entry fee, and people started battling and betting their stuff. Until one day, a teacher used the bathroom. He walked in on a group of kids betting and battling Beyblades. That kid was then suspended, and his businesses were shut down. Oh, great. There's a hole in my shoes. Hey, Bill, can you get me a pair? Bill! Yeah, what's up, boss? Can you get me a pair? A pair of what? I don't have time for this, okay? I'm texting you the address. This is my usual spot, alright? Please be back quick. Okay. This should be the place. Mr. Stevens, you saucy dog. Yeah, how can I help you? Yeah, I'll take a pair of your finest twins, please. What? Yeah, I'll take your finest pair of twins. This is a f***ing shoe store. Oh, a pair of shoes. You guys should really fix your sign. The news team was interviewing this man live on the air when somebody that he owed money to showed up.
First and foremost, we are used to stay outside, like this one. It end up.
I guarantee he paid him his money after that. Kid is an absolute legend. When this kid was growing up, he had somehow grown a tail. Well, by the time he was in 6th grade, he had to get it surgically removed. The surgery was a success, but he had stitches where the tail had to be removed. He was given a doctor's note to bring to class, to let his teachers know that he was supposed to sit on a soft cushion, because stitches. Well, one of his teachers wasn't having it. Hey, no, you can't sit on that unless you have a cushion for everyone in this class. But sir, I have a doctor's note. I don't care. These chairs are way too hard. I have stitches. Listen, you rabbit's foot prick. You're gonna man up and sit down, okay? So what he did was, on purpose, he sat down on that stiff chair as hard as he possibly could. So hard that his stitches tore, and he started bleeding all over the place. Go to the principal's office right now. He was sent to the principal's office. When he got there, he told the principal what happened, and the principal was on his side. However, the worst part about this was the teacher didn't get in trouble at all. You're like me and your phone is always dead, you gotta get this. It's called the INEU PowerPaw, and this is one of the fastest portable chargers I've ever seen. I charged it up fully. I love that little paw that lights up, and this thing lasts forever, and it's a super fast charger. I'm charging my phone right now. You can charge up to 3 devices at the same time. It even comes with this cool carrying case. The INEU PowerPaw is a game changer, and I highly recommend this product. You're missing out if you don't have it. High school made a huge mistake. All of the boys' bathrooms at this one high school were shut down by the school because somebody was stealing toilet paper. So they closed down the bathrooms until the person who was stealing toilet paper turned themselves in. Well, that's not fair to the other students. For about a week, the boys' bathrooms were closed, and the boys were getting very upset by it. How can they lock the bathrooms? What if I had to poop? I have to poop right now. I've been holding it in every single day. Boys, I have an idea. After lunch, at exactly 1:15 p.m., stand on your desks and take a dump right there. Spread the word. The second the clock hit 1:15, this is what happened. A total of 25 dudes pooped on their desks in the middle of class. The school actually got into huge trouble for denying people bathroom privileges, and the poop incident went down in history. Worst Christmas gifts ever. This woman says that one Christmas when she was about 25, she went home for the holidays. It was Christmas Day and she was with her entire family opening up presents. Her aunt hands her a gift. And this is for Carla, from me, your aunt. Oh, thank you so much, Aunt Jenny. She opens up the gift and she was surprised to see that it was baby clothes. A lot of baby clothes. The thing is, she wasn't pregnant. She was single. She didn't look like she was pregnant, and she had never talked about having children. So she couldn't understand why her aunt would give her baby clothes. But she just went along with it. Thank you so much. I think they're going to be great. Let me know if they don't fit, and I'll exchange them for the right size. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. The worst Christmas gifts ever. This girl's dad had just gotten remarried to a woman who had 3 kids of her own. And it was the first Christmas they were all spending together. It was her dad, her new stepmom, and her 3 new step-siblings. Well, on Christmas morning, everyone was handed a gift, and the step-siblings opened theirs first. Oh my god, a new laptop. Oh my god, me too, I got a laptop too. Hey, a laptop. Yo, what's up? Now that her 3 step-siblings went, it was her turn to open her gift. And since her gift was shaped the same as theirs, she was assuming she was getting a laptop as well. So she opened it. I'm pretty sure I know what mine is. It wasn't a laptop. Instead, it was a $25 McDonald's gift card that her stepmom put in a laptop-shaped box. I know how much you love McDonald's. Alright everyone, enjoy your new gifts. This stepmom is the worst. So the person that shared this story said that his stepmom has always hated him. When he was younger, she would tell his dad to not bring him on family trips because he wasn't a part of their family. That's weird. Anyway, during the time that his dad was married to this woman, this kid was obsessed with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Well, on his birthday, he had asked his dad and his stepmom for tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, as they were going to be in his town in mid-December. Fast forward to November, and he reiterated that he really wanted to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in mid-December. Well, the day of the concert came and went. He obviously did not get to go. Fast forward a week or two to Christmas Day. He was opening up a gift from his stepmother. It was an extra large t-shirt that said Trans-Siberian Orchestra on it.
Yeah, I took your dad to see the concert a couple weeks ago. I remembered that you loved this band, so we got you a shirt. Enjoy it.
You are a horrible woman. This is pretty messed up. It was Christmas time, and on this particular year, this woman decided to skip her family's Christmas and go to her fiancé's family's Christmas instead. She loves her family Christmas tradition, but she decided it was only fair to try her fiancé's traditions. Let's call her fiancé Dan. Well, she went all out on gifts. She got amazing gifts for Dan's parents. She even got stuff for all of his aunts and uncles. After Dan's family opened up all of her gifts, it was her turn. And she was excited. She saw a big pile of gifts that were all for her. Those are all for me? That's so nice of you guys. Well, she opened her first gift. I have no idea what this is. Oh, it's a piece of coal. You've been naughty. She figured it was just a harmless prank, so she continued. Another piece of coal. Coal. You know what, I'm done. This is not funny to me at all. Dan, I skipped my own family's Christmas tradition for this? Sweetie, this is a long-term thing we do with any newcomer to the family. It's a harmless prank. Screw you. And she left. Did they apologize? No. Instead, they yelled at her for embarrassing Dan in front of their entire family. That's messed up to me. This Christmas story is hilarious. The person that shared this said that she is 2 years older than her little sister. Well, when her sister was 5 years old, she had walked up to her Christmas tree a few weeks before Christmas, and she saw a giant wrapped box with her name on it. Look, Carla, this biggest present here is mine. It has my name on it. It's bigger than all of yours. Naturally, she was really mad. What the heck? She was jealous that her sister was going to get the biggest present there. Well, fast forward to Christmas morning, and they were opening up their presents. It was time for her 5-year-old sister to open up that big present that she was so excited about. All right, sweetie, why don't you open that big one right there? In your face. She opened it up in a hurry, but her excitement quickly turned to despair. What is this? It was a lamp. What am I going to do with a lamp?
Idiot.
Shut up! I hate my life. Why would you give me a lamp? Every school has that weird kid, and every weird kid does, well, something weird. The person that shared this specific story with me said that there was a weird kid in one of his classes, and every day he would do this exact same thing. Now, this kid was pretty tall, and he was wide. He was a pretty big dude. Well, every single day during this specific class, he would bring in a package of cookies. He would open the package and neatly stack the cookies on the left side of his desk. Then, starting from the top of the cookie stack, he would take one bite out of cookie 1, and place it on the right side of the desk. Then he would take a bite out of the next cookie and place it on top of cookie 1 and repeat until that original tower was on the right side, with each cookie having one bite taken out of it. Once they were all stacked again, he would repeat the process. Well, after about 15 minutes, every single cookie was eaten. He would wipe the crumbs in the floor and just sit there until class was over. The thing is, this school had a very strict no eating in class rule, but no one ever told him anything. His process of eating these cookies was so intricate that no one messed with him just out of respect. And to this day, he still goes by Cookie Man. Did this kid do anything wrong? This happened right before Christmas break. He was sitting in class. His friend was sitting right next to him, and there was a girl sitting behind him. Throughout the class, he started getting whiffs of a fart smell. What in the world? But he ignored it, because he assumed it would just probably go away. But then it got to a point where it was happening every 1 to 2 minutes. Oh, God. Towards the end of the class, he whispers to his friend, "Yo, bro, who the heck keeps farting? It's pissing me off. I can't focus." Dude, I smell it too. Right? Well, the girl sitting behind him heard this, and she immediately started crying. At this point, everyone is staring at them. The girl runs out of the classroom, and the teacher goes out there to see what happens. She told the teacher that she was embarrassed. Long story short, everyone knows she farted and cried about it, and now the dean wants to talk to them when they get back from Christmas break. Do you think he did anything wrong? Let me know. Exactly how popular is Minecraft? Minecraft is one of the best-selling games of all time, and last year they announced a huge milestone of over 300 million sales. Minecraft was released almost 13 years ago. Well, let's put this all into perspective. 300 million sales equals 47 copies of Minecraft sold a minute every minute since it was released in 2011. 47 copies a minute since 2011. That's actually insane. It's a genius study hack to pass your exams. This one is strange, but if you stick with it, I think this could be a genius way. You can Pavlov yourself. What you do is you choose an object, like some glasses, a hat, a tie, a scarf, anything. Then you only wear or use that object when you're studying. Now, if you stop studying to look at your phone, grab a snack, or go to the bathroom, take off that object. When you return to studying, put that object back on. Make sure that the only thing that object represents is studying. People who have tried this said it takes about a month, but eventually they started to associate that item with studying. So whenever they put it on, studying became 10 times easier. I don't know, it's worth a shot. This kid is crazy. The person that shared this said that there was a kid at their high school who got in trouble for using a keylogger to steal teachers' gradebook logins to change grades. He was also stealing credit card information from all the teachers as well. Well, the school administration eventually found out and he was expelled. What did he do then? He used a throwaway email address to email a revenge PowerPoint to every single student, teacher, and alumni of that school. The PowerPoint had Photoshop pictures of all the teachers and staff doing weird stuff. Well, one of the kids from that school ran into this guy a few years ago, and he actually graduated from Harvard and is a very successful real estate agent. That's crazy. My favorite comebacks. Hey, Carla, what do you want now, Stacy? No, I'm not gonna be mean, I promise. I heard that you had a crush on Jeremy, and you're gonna ask him to the dance. Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say yes, too. That is so exciting, I'm so happy for you. Hold on, I have to make a quick phone call. Hello, is this Jeremy? Yeah, hi, this is Stacy from geometry class. Hey, you want to go to the dance with me? The one on Friday? Oh, you'll have to let me know? Just let me know as soon as you can. He'll say yes to me. Watch. Fine, take him to the dance, Stacy. Once he figures out how dumb you are, he'll ghost you. I am not dumb. Yeah, you are. You stay after school every day to get tutored. That is such a lie. No, it's not. I stayed late last week for musical auditions and I saw you. I took a video. 7 plus 7 is 17. Oh my god, no. This one high school football game, there was a student who decided to do something crazy that day. The person that shared this story said it was a Friday night and they were at the school football game, when all of a sudden, a student decided to put on a banana costume and run across the fields during the game. Well, the school wanted to expel him, and once the students heard about this, things got crazy. A hashtag was started. Hashtag Free Banana Man. Kids were making custom t-shirts, chanting Free Banana Man at lunch. It was a whole thing. Well, the principal didn't like any of this happening, so he placed a school-wide ban on anything related to Banana Man. This included the t-shirts, the chants, bananas themselves, and even the color yellow. Eventually, the parents stepped in. Banana Man was allowed to come back to school, and the principal, whether this be a coincidence or not, resigned the following year. This is a crazy McDonald's story. Dwayne Waden was a pastor in North Carolina, and his wife worked at McDonald's. She was training to be a manager. Well, Dwayne received a phone call from his wife one day. She basically called her husband to complain that the employees were disrespecting her as she was training to be a manager. Well, Dwayne wouldn't have this. So the North Carolina pastor got in his car and drove to the McDonald's where his wife worked. He barged inside. His wife pointed to the employee that was disrespecting her, and he charged him. Dwayne punched him in the face, grabbed his head, and tried to shove his head into the deep fryer. The other employees stopped Dwayne from doing this, and they called the police. Dwayne was then arrested, and that poor guy was taken to the hospital. I guess it's safe to say that a pastor became a friar that day. This kid ran a super weird business at school. My follower sent me the story about someone who went to his high school. Well, I guess one day he came to a realization that almost everyone is ticklish. Well, during lunch at the school, there was a classroom that no one used. It was the science room. There were no windows in this classroom either. Well, one day he told a bunch of people to come to the science room during lunch, and a bunch of people did. When they got to the science room, they saw this kid, and a giant sign that said, anyone that can be tickled for 2 minutes without squirming or laughing wins food. And in that room was a giant table with a bunch of food and snacks on it, and he charged a $10 entry fee if anyone wanted to do the challenge. Well, surprisingly enough, almost everyone accepted this challenge. People were paying this guy to tickle them, and if they could handle being tickled for 2 minutes, they would win a bunch of food from the food table. This went on for 6 months, and in total he made over $5,000. Well, one day, someone couldn't pass the challenge. They got mad and told the principal, and the principal shut him down. That's crazy. This mom's plan backfired. One day, this mom overheard her daughter and her friends complaining about one of their teachers. The mom wanted to chime in. Hey girls! I overheard your conversation. I think I have an idea to mess with your teacher a little bit. She explained the plan, and the girls were in. They crushed up a bunch of laxatives, and they put them in cookie dough. They baked a bunch of cookies, put them on a plate, and the daughter left it on her teacher's desk with a note on it that said, "We made these just for you." Carla, you and your mom made these for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, we hope you enjoy them. Well, unfortunately, my doctor said I can't have sugar for the time being, so you know what? I'm gonna give these out to you guys. What? The teacher then passed these cookies out to all of the students in the class. Apparently, there was so much laxative in these cookies that it didn't take long for students to start feeling the effects. Oh God. Oh God. Carla? Let's have a chat. Carla eventually cracked under pressure and spilled the beans, and Carla's mom was sentenced to 50 hours of community service. Crazy things that happened at school. This person said that during their senior year of high school, someone took a massive dump in one of the girls' bathrooms. And by massive, I mean people said it was inhuman how large this poop was. Well, when the first kids saw this, they were amazed. Oh my God. Well, word spread pretty quickly, and within no time, the entire school was made aware of this behemoth dump, and more than 50 students began skipping class to witness this incredible sight. Literally, they were lining up outside this bathroom, taking pictures with it. Oh my God, that's crazy. One kid was even genius enough to start charging admission to see the poop. Head on in. Hold on, you're next, don't worry. $5? Guys, it's $5 to see the poop. If you don't have it, please get out of the line. It's actually beautiful.
I know.
Mrs. Stevens?
Shh, don't tell the principal.
A plumber was then called and the poop was removed. People still talk about that day, the day someone's monster poop managed to bring a smile to the entire school. To this day, no one knows who laid that poop egg, but needless to say, they're all very grateful to that person. This kid was betrayed by his best friend. So in middle school, this dude started selling snacks. He would go out and buy snacks for pretty cheap and sell them at school for a profit. He did this for a while and he was making pretty decent money, until one day he got caught. But he didn't want to stop the business, so he asked his friend if he could be a salesman for him. Nothing would change. This kid would still go out and buy the product, but his friend would be the one selling it instead. And he would get $30 a week for doing this. He thought $30 a week was totally fine, but apparently his friend wanted more than that. At the end of every day, if there was any product left, his friend would return it to him and give him the money he made that day. After a while, this kid realized that the money wasn't adding up. It was short, and he eventually found out that his friend had been stealing from him. That's when he said, "Okay, screw you, you're fired. I'm just gonna sell it again myself. If I get caught, oh well." And their friendship was over. They had been friends for years, but this kid couldn't handle the betrayal, so they went their separate ways. Weird things teachers made students do. One day in 6th grade, this kid got to his math class before everybody else. It was just him and the teacher for a few minutes, and he was kind of anxious. So he was sitting there kind of jittery, but minding his own business. The teacher then noticed he was jittery, and this is what she did. "Hi, I want you to stand up right now, please." Okay. Now I want you to dance. Just dance right there in your spot. Just dance." What do you mean? "Start dancing. Can you at least put some music on or something for me?" No. And so he stood there and he was dancing. He had no idea why he was doing this, but students were walking down the hall looking at him so weird. What the heck? "Can I please stop dancing now?" No! And then finally the bell rang. "Okay, now you can stop." "Thanks." He told his parents what happened and they were super pissed. His mom went to the school the next day and chewed this teacher out in front of the principal. Dumbest reasons people got in trouble at work. This guy was chilling at home when he got a call from a manager of a company. "Hello?" "Oh, hello, Greg. The answers." "Well, Greg, you didn't show up for work today, and honestly, I have had enough of your bull crap. You are a disgrace to the Comcast company. You're ignorant, you're selfish, you're incredibly selfish, you waste all of our time. Your mother would be so disappointed in you, Greg. You can be quiet. What do you have to say for yourself?" The call went on for a while, but the thing was, my name isn't Greg, and I definitely don't work at Comcast. I actually just started at Dairy Queen last week, but good luck to Greg, huh? Sounds like he's in big trouble. Okay, bye. God darn it. Can somebody get me Greg's phone number? I don't think I have it, but why don't you just ask him what his number is? He's sitting at his desk. Wait, he's here today? Yeah, it's his birthday today. He brought everyone donuts. I had like 3. Shit. Tips to save your life if you're ever being kidnapped. The first obvious tip is to fight back. If someone is trying to kidnap you, you should obviously try to hit them in the face. Make a fuss, a lot of noise. Try to get the attention of people around you. Instead of yelling help, shout fire! Fire! There's a fire! People seem to respond to that pretty frantically. If you're in a moving car and you're able to open the door, just jump out in a populated area. You might break your arm or your leg, but at least somebody will see you doing it. Or you could just crash the car. Grab the steering wheel and yank it. But again, do it in a populated area. Yes, you might be hurt, but like I said, there's people around. They could save you. Now, if you're locked in the trunk, feel around for a release latch. Some cars have them, and you can escape that way. If you can't find the release latch, try to find the wires connected to the taillights. Pull those out. That will cause the back lights to go out, and it increases the chances of your captor being pulled over by the police. And that's a good thing. Anyway, best of luck out there. I hope none of you get kidnapped, but if you do, now you know.
All forms of human poverty and all forms of human life.
So I bought a couch from 25home.com and it came in these 2 giant boxes, so I was worried, but the first one came out super easy, all together. There's the pillow, that's the second piece, that's how it was in the box. It just came out just like that. And I put some old pillows on there to see if it would match, and it kind of does, but the couch itself is beautiful. Look at it, it's huge. Literally, the hardest part about this entire process was throwing away the cardboard boxes. Seriously. But anyway, this couch is amazing. I was so happy. It's so comfortable. People that lucid dream basically never sleep, because sometimes lucid dreams can feel just as real as actual waking life. Picture this, you had an incredibly long day, you go to sleep, but you wake up in your dream. Except you know you are dreaming, and you can do whatever you want. It's your own personal world. You can fly to anywhere you like, make anything appear in front of you, not to mention that you can actually practice for things in real life in your dream. If you don't know how to lucid dream, you should. And this app will teach you everything you need to know. Go to the App Store and search Yoru X. I promise it works. Genius ways kids cheated on a test. This person said that at his high school, he had this big Spanish test one day, and him and a few of his other friends in the class did not study for it at all. It was a pretty important test. If they failed the test, they were gonna fail that class. So they came up with a genius plan. You see, this small group of students sat in the last row of the class, and there was a supply closet back there. So what they did was they paid the exchange student from Mexico $50. They brought him in the classroom at the beginning of class, gave him a blank copy of the test, and hid him in the supply closet in the back of the room. The foreign exchange student from Mexico would then whisper the answers to the students sitting next to the supply closet in the back row. This guy and his friends got an A+ on that test, and the teacher never found out.
আমি চাই তুমি ভালো থাকো। আর শোনো, যে জাহাজটা যদি সত্যি সত্যি বানাও তাহলে আমাদেরকে ইনভাইট করো। হ্যাঁ,
তুমি সারাক্ষণ সমুদ্রের সাথে ফিসফিস করে কথা বলবে আর আমি হিংসে করব। আমার হয়তো একটু সাহস বেড়েছে। বোকা ছেলেটা প্রেমে করেছে।
আর বিড়ি নিয়ে গেছে, বিড়ির প্যাকেট একটাও ছাড়ে নাই, সবগুলো দুমড়ে মুচড়ে বের হয়ে চলে গেছে। খাবো কি?
ও সরি, আমি আমার কাকে কি বলি? তুমি তো আবার 1 লক্ষ টাকা বেতনের চাকরিই করো না, তুমি কি হয়ে দিবা?
আমি বুঝি আমার মেয়ের সিকিউরিটি। শোনো, তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে,
একটা, কিন্তু আমি এখানে এক মুহূর্ত আর থাকবো না। আমার এখানে দম বন্ধ হয়ে মারা যাবো আমি।
শৈলী রাতে বাড়িতে চলে এসেছে। তাছাড়া
তুমি যাচ্ছ বিপরীতে, আবেগ বাড়ছে বহু।
ভাই আজকে না ভাই, বুঝছেন কাজের চাপ বেশি আর বাসায় ফিরতে হবে। সিঙ্গেল মোড
মানে পরিচিত কোনো আদার্স ভালো অপশন যদি থাকে সেখানেও আমাকে একটু রেফার করেন।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, তুমি প্যারা নিও না।
ওইভাবেই বাবার সাথে কথা বলবো। এখন তুমি কি বলো বলো, কিন্তু এখন আমাদের একটা সুস্থ জীবনে ফিরে আসা উচিত, একটা নর্মাল লাইফ লিড করা উচিত।
না হলে না হবে, আমার কোনো প্যারা নাই তো। আরে চাকরিটা
আর কত বলবো তুমি? শোনো মা, প্রোগ্রাম আছে, ওটা শেষ করেই আসবে, আমাকে বলেছে, কথা হয়েছে।
আর আসছে যেমন ছেলে।
হ্যাঁ বাবা।
জানি আপনি স্টকের ব্যবসা করেন, সিন্ডিকেট কইরা
এর মধ্যে ওর প্রেমে পাগল হয়ে যাব। আচ্ছা তুই বল, এটা কি সম্ভব? কেন সম্ভব?
ভাই আপনার জেল খাটাইছে ভাই, আমার বুকটা ফাইটে গেছে, আমি 3 দিন ঘুমাইনি, কষ্ট, আমার বুকটা ফাইটে গেছে, আমি অনেক কষ্ট।
শ্বশুর আর তানিয়া আমার বউ, আমি যদি তগো এলাম তানিয়ার চেয়ে কম হইবা কেন? তুমি তানিয়ার চেয়ে বেশি সুন্দরী। আরে কিন্তু আমার আব্বাস সাহেব তোর আত্মীয় লাগে। এখন তুই যদি আমার শ্বশুর এলাকার ভাবি, বড় ভাবি, তোরা সবাই এগো ফ্যামিলির। তানিয়া আমার তো মনে হয় তুমি 3 দিনের দিন
আল্লাহ জানে কি শুধু এটা।
এই রিকশা,
এই ঘটনা ইতিহাস হয়ে থাকবো যে সেলিম ভাই ভালো।
আর এই জুলি গেছে বাইরে মনে কর পিক করতে, বুঝছো?
মিনিমাম 1700 লাইন কবিতা লাগবো। তুই 700 লিখবি।
পাচ্ছিল এইতেছি।
আমি তোমার ভালোবাসতে পারলাম। তুমি অনেক ভালো